and welcome. It really is my pleasure today to introduce two very special members of the community, Supriya Saurabh and Neelam Wali. Welcome to Lokvani. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
It really is a pleasure to introduce these stellar human beings who are doing so much to support the victims of domestic violence. Supriya Saurabh is the president of Saheli, and that is a volunteer position for her. And in her real life, in her other life, I should say, she works as a senior manager at Philips Healthcare, senior program manager at Philips Healthcare. And of course, we have with us Neelam Wali, who serves at Saheli as the chair of the Saheli Advisory Committee. And of course, in her other life, she does so much, including running a very, very wonderful printing and graphics business, which has been such a support for the community at large. So really a pleasure to have you both here at Lokvani. So Supriya, I would love to hear from you a little bit about how the mission and vision of Saheli has transformed during the years and where it is today.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you, Ranjani ji, for the wonderful introduction. It's always a pleasure to be here and speaking with you, the Lokvani community. Yes, so most of us know, so Saheli started back in 1996, September 1996. So this month we could say, we are completing 24 years now, running into our 25th year of existence. All these times, we have been there supporting the community, our domestic violence survivors. And in the past few years, we have learned so much more about the needs, the unmet needs in the community that, you know, this year we're looking at actually expanding our vision, expanding our mission, and reaching out to the community that we did not cater to before. So for example, the Middle Eastern community, the Arabic speaking community, that was outside our reach because we didn't have the capability, we didn't have the language skills and the resource, in our group. So we're going, now venturing into that area and expanding our services to not just South Asian, but other immigrant communities. So that's one big change, that you will come to know about at our annual meeting that's coming up. So, looking at, wider range of services, looking at serving a, even bigger community going beyond South Asians, in our mission, and then in our vision, and then for the mission, much new programs that are coming up.
So it sounds like the breadth and the depth is increasing in at Saheli, and
Certainly.
that's what you're working on. So Neelamji, obviously this
Mhm.
has been evolving because of needs that you probably saw in the community. Could you share a little bit, especially during this very special times, how has Saheli been impacted? What new services have you think the people in the community need?
So, first of all, thank you, Ranjini, for really inviting us and doing this interview with us. We really appreciate that. I think COVID has been tough on everybody. It has not been really easy sailing. I know the DV advocates are really busy out there talking to the survivors. Needs have increased, housing needs have increased, and other needs when it comes to children and other things, So they are really busy right now. A lot of our survivors are looking for housing, and our advocates are really putting them into housing wherever we can find it. As probably you remember, Ranjiji, at our Nirbhaya event, we raised some money for the housing situation that we were facing. So Saheli doesn't have a shelter right now, and initially idea was that we will have a shelter for Saheli where we can put the survivors middle of the night. But looking at all the expenses and legal implications that Saheli will have, we decided that that format will not work for Saheli right now, at least, because funding is the issue. So we are looking into, we have been working on it for last almost 4 months. We have every Monday meetings via Zoom, what we are doing right now. And And we have come to the conclusion that right now, the extended stay will work for our clients. Plus, if that doesn't work, then we put them into the landlord housing. So we will have to contact with some landlords who can give us decent rents, and Saheli pays for all that rent, kind of depending on the survivor, what they can afford, they can pay 20%, 30%, or rest Saheli take. So vision is how to help these
Right.
survivors out there.
And would you say that COVID has been very hard on those that have been suffering? Has that been has the demand for your services grown during COVID times?
It has actually, for last 1 year, we have helped 80 families. So yes, I think the demand has increased, the work has increased. Um, I think what is also happening is that we cannot physically see them. So whatever is happening with the DV advocates, they are doing it remotely, and it is harder. It's much harder to deal it that way. But I think the Saheli has a wonderful group of people now. We have wonderful two EDs that are doing excellent job, and a lot of DB advocates who are running it beautifully. And then, of course, Supriya is on the top trying to manage things. So
Right.
yes, it has been hard, but we are making it work.
Sure, sure. So, Supriya, it sounds like you came upon this expansion of services to Middle Eastern communities as well. I mean, is that going to be a challenge as far as fundraising is concerned? And or are you aligning with new partners beyond the Indian community in order to, because there is probably others who can also contribute towards it. And so I would love to know why you expanded your mission and how you plan to execute on that mission as well.
Yes, no, that's a good question, Ranjani ji. Yes. So first, we dream of a violence-free environment. Just looking at these statistics in Massachusetts alone, 16 people have died to domestic violence. So that's, we're looking at these, staggering numbers, and they are just shocking to us that, even today we're
16, you would say in just in all of Massachusetts or in our communities?
in all of
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So not just South Asian community, but looking at the data, for South Asian community, it has always been sort of a taboo topic. But then, as we are working through, these different cases, we get a lot of referrals from DCF. We get referrals from other agencies where we have a survivor from Middle Eastern community who needs these services, but sometimes there is no other agency that could provide that culturally specific services. So even though we may not speak the language, there's some of the aspects from our society, that the patriarchal society, or just the gender inequality pieces that is common between if you look at the South Asian community and the Middle Eastern community. So we took help from translators before, to understand their language. Sometimes with English as a second language, there could be a barrier. And that's when we realized there are unmet needs, and we really need to serve that community. There are some needs that needs to be looked into. So if we are able to provide those services, why not? So I think it really was the demand and supply gap. So we saw that there are needs there, and we just wanted to cover that community as well. So most of our clients or referrals are coming from the different agencies that we work with. So we are under the Jane Doe umbrella.
Yeah.
So many other DV organizations that we see in Massachusetts alone. So be it ATASK or REACH or Dove, we're all partners, and we never say no to any survivors. We all help together.
Sure.
I
And
just
yeah, go
want
ahead.
to one more thing. I think what Supriya said was, I think the reason Saheli is able to do extra what they used to normally do is because we did get some COVID funding from the state and from some of these organizations, which really made us help other people who were not normally helped by the regular sources.
Mhm.
That, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And thank God you're reaching out. I mean, this is really, indicative of how compassionate and kind and caring all of you are. That, and I would say that, I mean, I think it's not about patriarchy. I mean, the world at large is very patriarchal, but I think definitely the family structure probably is very
Yeah.
similar between the Middle Eastern and the
Yeah,
Indian, and our, also our cultural heritage is very similar. So
Mhm.
we have a lot of differences, but I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of similarities as well. So, really kudos to all of you for doing what you're doing. So I know that there is, I think, a meeting coming up where you are going to be, what I hear. Actually, Supriya, why don't you tell me what the meeting? It sounded exciting when I got the invitation, but I'd love for you to tell us more.
absolutely. Would be happy to. Before I start, I want to say that, I want to thank Neelam for really giving structure to the program and leading the preparation for the annual meeting. So, yes, the meeting is scheduled for Saturday, October 10th, starts at 10 o'clock. Our one of the keynote speakers here is going to be our state representative, Tram Nguyen. She is the state rep from Essex 18th District and first Vietnamese American to join the Massachusetts State House. At the annual meeting, we are looking to share our new vision and the mission with the community and also talk about our strategic goals for the next 3 years. Other than that, we have a wonderful program set up and we're looking at some, entertainment sections, all contributions from the community. So, you'll see hear a poem coming from Poppy, from Tanu, and then we'll have a special mention, focused for our Saheli ambassador as well. So Neelam, why don't you talk about that piece,
I think that will be what is it called? Cherry on the top. Puranji, after Nirbhaya, he approached me. He said, I want to be ambassador for Saheli. Anything you guys do, I want to support you. So he will be speaking for a few minutes at the meeting.
That's really spectacular, because I
Yeah.
think you couldn't have a kinder, again, Puran
Yes.
Dangri is the very epitome of that which is kind and caring. So perfect ambassador for what you're trying to do. So I know, Neelamji, you have brought, as she said, a lot of structure. Saheli certainly has thrived under your leadership. So tell me a little bit about the advisory committee and how it is supporting all the work of Saheli, and what do you, hope? I hear you might be growing it. What is the vision for it, and why are you growing it?
So we do have right now 13 members on the committee, and most of them are really helping us when it comes to fundraising, when it comes to programming that helps Saheli. But what I felt was that we need to increase the numbers. I'm hoping that we can increase it to between 25 to 30, because all of them cannot give us time at the same time. So I think we are going to divide this committee into 2 year and 3 year terms, and depending on how much each person has time, they will give us that. So that is in work in progress right now. And I think somebody asked me yesterday, how many men do you have on this committee? So, so we do want men, and we already have 3 on our committee, but I'm looking to add more to it. Yes, so the plan is that we will get some more men involved. I think they believe in the mission just like everybody else. It's just that they are not sure what they can offer us, but I know they can offer us a lot more than what they think. So we will get them involved. That's the plan.
I mean, it's, it's never a one-sided thing, right? I mean, I think that is the
Yeah.
biggest thing for people to understand, that if we could handle the family as a unit, the
Yes.
man and the woman, and I think then I
Yes.
know that you have always, the domestic violence advocates always talk about early intervention should happen with both, people that has, I know in your view, brought
Yeah.
about a lot of quick,
Yeah.
problem solving
absolutely.
that has
Yeah,
happened
we want
as.
men as allies, and when men are speaking to this issue, it just have much more stronger effect, to the community, to other men when we are seeing that they stand, in allegiance with us, supporting the mission, supporting the cause. That we need to really take this out from our community.
But and I do know that you work on domestic violence no matter which side it comes from. I know that there are cases on both sides of
Yes,
the aisle
we
that
have
you have worked
men
with.
survivors as well, so definitely I think that's something
Even
for.
though it's a very small number, I know it's
It
much
is a smaller
highly loaded on
percentage,
the other side, but
but
still,
it
yeah.
does exist. Yes, and we support, men survivors as well. So we're not saying that, we are, gender specific,
Right,
that we only
right.
support women survivors. That's not the case.
Right, right. So, as you move forward, one thing, Neelam, I really was very impressed to see this housing initiative. I mean, we've been
Yes.
talking about it forever and ever. That if you
Uh,
would like to share, I'm very excited to hear that. So, I don't know if you want to add any more details to that at this
I
point.
think at this point, we are looking at basically two kinds of housing. One is the extended housing, which is suppose somebody needs to move out of really in a rush. So we have this place where we can put them. And this is a connection with all the hotels in the town. And we don't know yet how it will work out, but we have the kind of word from them saying that we will help you. And it is in different towns. Uh, so hopefully that will work out. And then we are connecting with some of the landlords and some of the bigger corporations where the kind of apartments are there that they can be given out to the domestic abuse people. So it's kind of work in
You
progress.
can practice. No, but I can see that there's a structure and a path forward, and I think I'm very excited to see that. That's really great. So in my mind, really, it's always I mean, it's amazing how many times I myself have met people who are in need, and really without Saheli, I wouldn't know how to help them. So I think it's really tremendous what you folks are doing, and I'm glad you're putting out the call for more volunteers to join in. And it sounds like this particular meeting that's coming up is a really big opportunity for people to give their time, right? I don't think you're looking, it's not just money. I mean, Saheli doesn't run just with
Yeah,
money. It
of
needs
course.
a
Mhm.
lot more volunteers who can really, and of course money is important, but there is volunteers, and everybody brings their talents, and I see that's what makes for a rich Saheli, I think. From your perspective, Supriya, any words of thoughts that you want to share with our viewers?
Yes, thank you, Ranjani ji. So yes, this is an open forum. On Saturday, if you join us, you'll get to know like what we have been up to. We're going to share our report card past 1 year, what the different activities that we have been working on, and that's really gives the community an idea like how you can support us. Do you have time? Excellent. Please come volunteer for us. You don't have time, maybe you could support us monetarily. Do that. So you really get to know what we have been up to, what do you support the mission, what pieces that you really like to be part of, and then come join us, or help us financially, whichever way works for you. We have open positions, on the board as well as the advisory, and depending on how much time you can spend with us, it will really give you, an opportunity to learn more about us, and then also, whom to connect with. So, I see that, there are a lot of people out there, who have volunteered with us before. And this is sort of to rekindle our relationship here and see, let's make it an active, formal, association here, and see, what you can do, in joining Saheli and helping us, achieving our mission, taking the organization to the next step. So, through this medium here, with for the reviewers of the Lokvani in the community, that I'm reaching out to you and asking for your time. If you believe in our mission, if you believe in our cause, we're looking at helping our survivors. We're looking at meeting the unmet needs. Please do reach out to us.
That's so wonderful, so wonderful. And Neelam, to you, I mean, as once you took on Saheli advisory, I know you are a very, very structure oriented, no nonsense person. So I know
I,
that you will
I
make.
hope that's a thing.
No, no, no. The good thing about that is what I think about you, Neelam, is when you find a talent, you know how to
Right.
use them appropriately. And so, any words that you would like to share with the community about Saheli? And, you're giving your time. It's from the, like you say, it's an advisory role. So, what has that been? And how do you think others, why should
I
they join and contribute?
Right. I think, Ranjini, I think you're on our advisory committee as well. So what I have to say to people that I have been with Saheli for last 20 plus years, and I really believe in the mission. I really think that there is a huge need. People, some of us in from South Asian countries, we don't speak about this thing very openly. And I know we all do on our own way to really help people, but I think Saheli is an organization where you can pick up the phone and say, hey, I am having trouble, could you help me? So I'm telling people, please, it is a much needed resource in our community. whatever you can do, whether it's monetarily, whether it is really physically, or the languages that we're helping people, come and spend 10 hours in a month with us. It doesn't have to be 30 hours, but need is there. I want them to come and see what we do. And our advisory committee is awesome. They really are trying to do what they can. We all work. We all have businesses or full-time jobs. For anybody to give time any which way, I'm thankful. I really am thankful. So I'm looking forward to getting new committee members together and make it work for us. Thank you so much.
Fantastic, Neelam. Fantastic, Supriya. I have to say that there have been so, like I said before, there have been so many occasions when, people around you, there is a, somebody might approach you and
Yes.
instead of feeling lost, like when it happens to me, I'm not lost. I'm like, there is a professional, there is a structured approach to handling this. And there is hope that people don't need to suffer, they can survive it. And I think that's the mission that I have seen it every time that I have worked with you, brought some clients to you.
Yeah.
I think the unfortunate reality is that it continues to plague society. We hope our vision of having a violence free society, of having a peaceful society, will come to fruit. And being a positivist, I certainly think that can happen. But until then, I think this organization is so needed. Thank you both for what you do. Thanks to all the Saheli, the advocates, the other team members who are doing so much good. So I really look forward to the event. And again, Supriya, it's on October 10th, right?
October 10th, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It's a
Fantastic.
virtual meeting. Join on Zoom, please.
Fantastic, fantastic. I know I will miss the in-person samosas we used to get, or the great Saheli food we would get every time we came to the advisory meeting. But hey, let's zoom into those samosas now. We can
Can
have
I,
those samosas at home. Go ahead.
can I say one more thing? I
Sure,
want to
sure.
thank Tanu Basu. She was part of our annual meeting putting together. She was a big part of it. She's going to be volunteer. She's volunteering right now. So I want to thank her personally.
Oh, she is such a terrific individual.
And
And
we are so lucky to have her. Hopefully, she'll become part of the Saheli soon.
it's
So let's
great.
hope it.
Yeah,
But thank
she,
you, Lily. You're awesome. You're always so good to us, to Saheli. I can you and Anil, you are really
Right.
pleasure.
always our pleasure. And I would say that's one of the other things you should join the Saheli Advisory Board for, because there are some great fun people to work with, and they have fun. I mean, yes, it's a
We do.
difficult cause, but at the workplace, we are
Of
having fun.
course.
And I
So,
think that's
It
the
is our pleasure to have you and Anilji. Thank you, Ranjani.
my
Really appreciate it. Yes.
thank you on behalf of the community. And we look forward to October 10th to see what beautiful things are going to emerge. Namaste.
Wonderful. Thank you so